Hello everyone, in this video we are going to talk about Plato and his theories given in the book written by him. The name of the book was Republic. Okay, so basically we are going to discuss about his ideas on poets and why did he banish the poets from his ideal state. Fine. So in Plato's Republic, his attack on the poets is political, not artistic. Alright, so he basically wanted to get rid of the poets on political basis and not artistic. He banishes literature and the arts because they have no political utility. He says that literature and arts has no political utility, यानी कि political gain नहीं है उसमें से, and may indeed exert on adverse influence on the particular virtues that must be fostered for the proper maintenance of his ideal commonwealth. In fact, according to him, literature and arts is something that would actually hinder his ideal commonwealth. वो जो एक स्टेट बनाना चाहता था, आइडियल स्टेट, तो उसमें ये खराबी लाएगा एंड नथिंग गुड विल हैपन इफ़ लिटरेचर इज़ इफ़ इट्स उसको अगर ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंस दी जाए तो कोई फ़ायदा नहीं है politically. Then he banishes the poets, but before doing so, he anoints them with mire and crowns them with garlands. So he banishes them, जो poets है उनको banish कर दिया अपने state से, but then again he crowns them with garlands because they are artists. So he must banish them on political grounds, but honors them by other standards. Plato's discussion on poetry in the Republic is to be found at the end of the second and the beginning of the third books and in the 10th book. So basically Plato की third book में of the Republic and 10th book में he has mentioned about poetry. Okay, so the main discussion of poetry is done in the third book and the 10th book. Fine. In book 3 he is mainly concerned with the education of the guardians of his commonwealth, and he begins with their literary education, which he considers under three heads: theological, moral and formal. So the guardians of his commonwealth यानी कि वो young people जो उसके ideal state को आगे बढ़ाएंगे, so they are the guardians of commonwealth. तो उनके बारे में उसने लिखा है बुक 3 में. सो ही इज़ मोर कंसर्न अबाउट देयर एजुकेशन, कि कैसे हम उन गार्जियंस को एजुकेट करेंगे. फाइन. नाउ यंग पीपल आर इम्प्रेशनेबल से सॉक्रेटिस. अच्छा, एक और चीज़, प्लेटो की बुक में एक कैरेक्टर है सॉक्रेटिस, जो प्लेटो के टीचर हुआ करते थे. तो ही इज़ द मेन कैरेक्टर इन द रिपब्लिक, एंड पूरी जो किताब लिखी है वो ऐसे लिखा है एज इफ सॉक्रेटिस इज़ टॉकिंग टू द अदर पीपल. सो सब डायलॉग फॉर्म में है. फाइन. सो हियर द यंग पीपल आर इम्प्रेशनेबल से सॉक्रेटिस, एंड एनी इम्प्रेशन वी चूज़ टू मेक लीव्स अ परमानेंट मार्क. यानी कि हम यंगस्टर्स के ऊपर जो भी इम्प्रेशन डालते हैं वो परमानेंट मार्क छोड़ जाता है. ओके. And this we have actually seen in Bengal Renaissance. There were many writers who जो young people थे उनको encourage किया था, okay, to learn literature and एक independent way of thinking के लिए उनको encourage किया था. So literature actually provokes the minds of the young people. Fine. So he goes on to argue that God is perfectly good and therefore changeless and incapable of deceit, but the poets often show him as falling short in these respects. They misrepresent gods and heroes, and thus in the theological sense they are unsuitable preceptors. So here Plato says that the poets हैं, they actually don't give respect to God and the heroes, the past heroes. Okay, so instead of glorifying the past heroes, ये जो है उनके फॉल्ट्स को दिखाते हैं, जो पोइट्स हैं उनके बैड साइड को दिखाते हैं. इवेंचुअली गॉड इज़ समवन हु डजंट नीड एनी चेंज. गॉड में कोई फॉल्ट है ही नहीं, बट अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस पोइट्स गॉड में भी वो कमियां निकालते हैं. ओके, सो इस वजह से they put an impression on the minds of people, that the youngsters, that God has also many faults, and जो past heroes हैं even they carry many faults with them. Fine. So on moral grounds too, most existing poetry is unsuitable for educational purposes, for in their accounts of the gods and of the great heroes of the past, the poets have depicted various forms of moral weaknesses, and here again they will have a bad effect on the minds of the young. Fine. In the discussion of the form or manner of presentation of poetry, we encounter for the first time the term mimesis or imitation, which is to figure so largely again in book 10 of the Republic. Okay, so the term mimesis or imitation has been included in book 10th of the Republic and in Aristotle's Poetics. Aristotle has also used this word mimesis. Then book 3. In book 3, Plato uses it in a rather specialized sense, perhaps best translated as impersonation. That is, what the poet does when he is not speaking in his own person as he does in lyric, but by the use of direct speech in drama or in parts of epic represents or impersonates another person. So poet जो है he impersonates himself, यानी कि जो ड्रामाज एंड पार्ट्स ऑफ एपिक है उसमें ही impersonates another person. So according to Plato, poets are fake. Okay, when he is writing the lyrics, okay, when he is writing the lyrical poem or anything, he is speaking in his own person, वो अपनी बात को सामने रखता है. लेकिन when he is writing a drama or parts of epic, he represents or impersonates another person. He represents someone, another person, okay, other person. So according to Plato, the future guardians will learn by the poet's example to depart from their own characters by having to represent other characters, including bad characters. So जो youngsters है, they will also depict some other characters. ये पोएट से यही सीखेंगे कि हमें दूसरे कैरेक्टर्स की तरह बनना चाहिए, impersonate करना चाहिए. ओके, and they might get influenced by the bad characters. So this will not do in a republic. तो प्लेटो के रिपब्लिक में ही वांटेड एवरी पर्सन टू बी एकदम बिल्कुल अच्छे विचारों वाला चाहिए उसको अपने रिपब्लिक में. एवरी पर्सन शुड बी अ गुड पर्सन. So this will not work in his republic, and the guardians will learn by the poet's example to depart from their own characters by having to represent other characters, including bad characters. This will not do in a republic in which every one has to learn how best to play his own part and not to interfere with the functions of other people. So he says उसके रिपब्लिक में every person must know their own work and should not interfere with the work or functions of the other people. So at the beginning of book 10, Plato's general argument is that poetry and the arts are illusion. He says that poetry and arts are illusions. In his theory of ideas, this is very important, theory of ideas, everything that exists or happens in this world is an imperfect copy of an ideal object or action or state that has an ideal existence beyond this world. यानी कि everything that exists or happens in this world, जो भी होता है इस दुनिया में, okay, it is एन इम्परफेक्ट कॉपी ऑफ एन आइडियल ऑब्जेक्ट, एक आइडियल ऑब्जेक्ट की कॉपीज होती है. ओके, सो द प्रोडक्शंस ऑफ द पोएट्स एंड आर्टिस्ट आर देयरफॉर इमिटेशंस. सो जो भी पोएट्स एंड आर्टिस्ट बनाते हैं वर्क ऑफ लिटरेचर जो भी है, it's basically an imitation of, it's an imitation of, copy है of imperfect copies of an ideal life. एक तो सारी चीज़ें एक इमिटेशन है. ओके, और जो पोएट्स और लिटरेचर में जो भी लिखते हैं वो कॉपी है उस इमिटेशन की. फाइन. सो दे आर थर्ड हैंड एंड अनरियल एंड कैन टीच अस नथिंग ऑफ वैल्यू अबाउट लाइफ. तो इसमें उसने एग्जाम्पल दिया है, जैसे इफ़ अ कारपेंटर इज़ मेकिंग अ चेयर. ओके, तो बेसिकली सबसे पहले क्या होता है, उसके दिमाग में एक आइडियल चेयर की एक तस्वीर बनती है. दैट इज़ द आइडियल, यू नो, एक असली चीज़ है. ओके, जो उसके आइडियाज़ में. देन वो जो बनाता है दैट इज़ कॉपी ऑफ हिज आइडियल्स माइंड एंड आइडियाज़. ओके, उसकी जो उसके दिमाग में जो आइडिया है उसकी एक कॉपी वो बनाता है चेयर के फॉर्म में. और जो पोएट उस चेयर के बारे में लिख रहा है वो क्या कर रहा है, उस कॉपी की एक कॉपी और बना रहा है. सो बेसिकली 3 बार कॉपीज़ बनी. ठीक है. सो दे आर थर्ड हैंड एंड अनरियल एंड कैन टीच अस नथिंग ऑफ वैल्यू अबाउट लाइफ. Plato says that the appeal of poetry is to the lower, less rational part of our nature. It strengthens the lower elements in the minds and expense of reason. तो according to him, poetry is something जिसमें जो lower strata की जो चीज़ें हैं उसको ज़्यादा बढ़ा चढ़ा के दिखाया जाता है. Fine. He says that poetry, especially dramatic poetry, has a bad moral effect on those who hear it, for they soon learn to admire it and thence to model themselves on the weakness and faults that it represents. Since the poet's potentialities for doing harm seem to Plato so great, especially by reason of the seductive charm of what he writes, he must exclude him from his ideal republic. Then he allow entry to the lyrical poet who will sing in praise of the gods and of the virtues of good men, but to no other poets. So in his republic state, he will allow only those poets who will talk about the virtues of good men and praise the gods, जो भगवान की तारीफ़ करेगा और जो ग्रेट मैन है उनकी तारीफ़ करेगा, तो उनकी पोइट्स को ही विल अलाउ इन हिज रिपब्लिक. बाकी किसी और पोइट्स को ही विल नॉट अलाउ. So I think this was sufficient for you to understand the theory given by Plato. Next lecture will be on Aristotle. So right now I am dealing with the literary criticism topics. I hope you have liked my video. Just write down your comments, like my video. Thank you so much.